This episode contains adult themes and is not appropriate for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, the world. This is They Will Kill, a true crime podcast, and I'm Sadiak.
And I'm Courtneyak.
And it's Courtney's night.
Yeah. Woo. I'm like running stairs right now. It's a montage. People are slow clapping, and it's going to fast clapping.
Good. Because right now I'm just stuck over here in time change hell. So I need a fast, cool montage. Break me out of my funk.
80s music.
Yeah, and then the reverse montage would be me like sleeping and like crying and looking out at the dark night at 4 p.m.
Bumping into tables and things because you went downstairs to take a shower at 3:30 and then came upstairs and it was pitch black in your house, which was my experience this afternoon. Yes. Yep, welcome to. I actually like it. I'm unpopular pigeon. I really like it. I like it when it's dark. I'm
really
like my soul. Yeah, I really do. I love it because it's really a good excuse to get cozy on the couch.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wine,
4
cozy
p.m.
stuff.
is really extreme, though.
Anyway. I will agree with that. Anyway, this is not about that. This is about the Love Has One cult and the death of Amy Carlson.
The Love Has One cult?
Yes. Are you familiar?
No.
Oh, boy. Strap in. It's new. It's a new story. It's a newer cult. Yes. One of these fresh, like TikTok style cults.
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Love Has One.
Yeah. Well, YouTube. I don't know if... I'm sure they're on TikTok too, but Love Has One.
Oh,
so
like
Amy,
won the battle?
W-O-N.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought it was like Love Has One plural. Like singular,
one
I mean.
Yeah, one purpose.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's all right. Amy Carlson was born in 1975 and grew up in Dallas, Texas. By all accounts, she was well loved by her family and was a straight-A student and a star singer in the choir growing up. She had 3 sons, I'm pretty sure with different fathers. And when she was nearing her 30s, she began studying New Age ideas, which she delved into deeper while speaking with strangers on the internet, and eventually started speaking openly about, quote, outlandish concepts to her friends and loved ones. After the birth of her 3rd child, Amy met a man who was a member of the Love Has One, W-O-N, cult, which was previously known as the Galactic Federation of Light. Okay, so let me preface this by saying you're going to constantly be like, question mark, and I'm not going to have an answer for you.
Okay.
This shit is chaotic. It is complicated, but it is fascinating.
Right.
So
it's amazing that these things still exist. Like names like that still happen and people are like, yes, that.
Sadie, I think, and we can talk about this at the end, but not only do they still exist, I think that they have ramped up
thriving.
To a billion. Yes.
I mean, our last president is a
bing, 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 bing,
cult.
bing, bing,
Yeah.
bingo. He explained that he was Father God and convinced her that she was Mother God and that she should join the group and fulfill her role and join them in transcending to the level of 5D consciousness. Amy became convinced that what the man said was true and so left her husband and 3 children, as well as her job as a manager of a McDonald's, and traveled to Crestone, Colorado to live in a home with the group's 12 to 20 members. Yep. Just managing a McDonald's in Texas, and the next thing you know, you're Mother God.
I mean, sounds like a
good...
Yeah, like a okay thing.
When you're interviewing at McDonald's, and you're like, will I eventually be God? And they're like, generally no, but you have an air about you. Yeah. Let's see what happens. There isn't a ton of information about Amy's early days and transition into the group, but they moved around a lot over the years between Colorado, Oregon, California, and Florida, and they eventually settled in Moffett, Colorado. They lived in Hawaii briefly, but were chased out by locals after Amy claimed to be the Hawaiian goddess Pele.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yep. She is
God.
fucking
She did it. She did it.
Quote, a multi-day protest ensued with protesters lighting driftwood fires and chanting Hawaiian prayers around the rented property the group was staying in. Video footage provided by Love Has Won member Lauren Suarez showed eggs and rocks being thrown at the house, as well as the broken windows of the house and the SUV parked in the driveway.
Fuck yeah.
The mayor...
Like, get out of here.
The mayor of Kauai intervened to negotiate the departure of the group from the island.
I'll fuck you up.
Backfire. She's like, no, I swear to God. And you'll see her. I mean, she is the picture of a YouTube, you know, like new age goddess, whatever. Yeah. They were like, oh, hell no. We are so sick of your shit in the first place.
We do not want you here.
No, none of you.
Yes.
Especially not you. No. Members of Love Has Won posted daily videos to YouTube where they preach their ideals in an attempt to recruit new members, solicit donations to support their lifestyle, and sell new age products and vitamin supplements. They also offer what they call an, quote, etheric surgery, which costs $88 per session, claiming that it could remove sickness and, quote, negative energy from the body.
God, I wish that was true. Do it.
I mean, we'll talk about this at the end too, but every once in a while on TikTok, you know, you see something and this is how they fucking get you, and you're like, ooh, what if that's... And you're like, no, it's not true. It's not true. It's not. God. Members of the group believe wholeheartedly that Amy was a divine being and said, quote, she didn't have the ego programming that we do. Someone needed to break out of it first. Mom was just in full consciousness from her whole life. She earned where she is at consciously. And that is really why she is just the example, because we are not at that consciousness level, nowhere near. The group claims that Amy Carlson was a 19 billion-year-old soul who has been trying to save humanity throughout her existence and birthed all of creation. She has been reincarnated 534 times and has lived notable lives such as Jesus, Joan of Arc, Marilyn Monroe, and Cleopatra. I mean, of course.
Of course.
Although Marilyn Monroe, it's like,
yeah.
Everyone loves her, but really? We're going to throw that one in there? Be the sexy one for a minute.
Right.
She claims that Donald Trump was her father in a previous life.
Oh my God.
And that she has been in contact with the spirit of Robin Williams, quote, who she claimed was Archangel Zedekiel. All right.
Yeah. I'm mad by that.
There's videos of her talking to him, and she's saying things like, remember when I was covered in pickles? Also, we're not done. We're not done with the theology.
Right.
Quote, the group's theology also included references to the concepts of Atlantis, the Anunnaki, and reptilians.
They just went for all of it.
And like, I'm still not done. We have more. But I would think that if you want to run a successful cult, just like pick a mission and stick to it, right?
Well, or just pick all of the missions and see what sticks, I guess.
And I guess my question would be, in this new age of like information chaos and disruption and disinformation, is it just better to believe in everything, right?
Well, I think maybe because it's YouTube, TikTok, like social media, the more buzzwords you have, the more hashtags you can throw out there, like the more people you're going to... So just put it all out there. Like... Just bring the people in for the money and the sex or whatever you're looking for.
So, speaking of which, they believe that the world was run by a, quote, cabal determined to keep the planet in a, quote, low vibration state. Mm-hmm. And if that wasn't enough to keep track of, quote, the group claimed that Carlson was the queen of the lost continent of Lemuria. And the group incorporated the belief that Lemurians live within Mount Shasta in California.
Okay, so that's ringing a bell. Keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was able to cure people of cancer by talking to them on the phone as long as they had, quote, no fear or doubt and were in surrender.
Ugh, God, that shit pisses me off so bad.
Yes. She has also been tasked with leading 144,000 chosen people into the fifth dimension. How does she do it all? And then I wrote #girlboss.
That's what I was thinking. Like, that's like 9 billion years old. Like,
Yes.
God, it's busy.
So busy.
I want to
She
see
get-
your
I get
goddess planner.
I get up. I have some activated cashews. Have you seen that video of Amanda Chantal Bacon? Have I talked about Amanda Chantal
No.
Bacon? Oh my God. Everybody stop what you're doing, pause this podcast, and Google the video of Amanda Chantal Bacon talking about what she eats in a day. She's the founder of Moon Juice in Los Angeles. Oh my God.
Okay.
It's
I'm going to do it right now.
chaos. Oh God, it's chaos. And then I eat an activated sprout taco with my kids love this snack. It's like $45,000 worth of fucking bee pollen that's been processed 5,500 ways. Anyway,
Her last name is Bacon.
Amanda Chantal Bacon. The members of the group were tasked with attending to all of Amy's needs, and they all call her Mom or Mother God. Amy parted ways with the original Father God, who encouraged her to join the group, and brought several Father Gods into the group over the years. One Father God was a man named Andrew Profacki, who survived a car crash that should have killed him when he was a teenager, and so he went in search of spiritual enlightenment. He sought out Love Has Won and said that when he arrived at the home after a long journey into the middle of nowhere, Colorado, he immediately knew he made a, quote, grave miscalculation. He said that everyone in the house was on a mushroom trip when he arrived, and it, quote, scared the crap out of him. The group denies taking any drugs or drinking because they were forbidden to do so, but Amy was known to drink a lot and lash out abusively as a result.
Huh.
So
She's like this profoundly enlightened individual, but can't stay off the sauce. Like,
just wait, Sadie. I'm going to give you some examples, and I definitely recommend watching the videos of her.
I will.
So Profacki was Amy's lover and Father God for 10 months, and then left the group when Amy's drinking and abusive outbursts became too much. He said that she was one of the most brilliant and insightful people he had ever met, but she would start drinking after dinner every night and would, quote, fill a highball glass almost all the way to the top with vodka and drink 8 or 9 of those a night.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, one tall-ass vodka, that'll fuck you up. Nope, 8 or 9. Yep. He said when she would drink, she would turn into someone else, and there are numerous videos of her screaming incoherently at members of the group and in general.
Ugh, God.
There's one video where guys with man buns sitting around and some hot people in the background, and they're speaking very coherently and like, yeah, it's good that we know what, enlightenment and we have the consciousness, whatever. In the background, it sounds like a goose or something, just like, I mean, and he's just talking through it and sort of flinching every once in a while and pausing, and she's just losing her mind in the other room. Yeah. Quote, the group justified her drinking and drug use because Amy was, quote, organic, and so wouldn't take pharmaceuticals, but that alcohol is organic and so could be consumed by her as a natural painkiller. Profacki said, quote, to tell you the truth, I had no intentions of being in a relationship with her. I mean, no offense, but she's not my type. Unfortunately, you couldn't get her away from this idea of needing this title and thinking she's God, and that really perverted everything that we did. He added, someone who has worked closely with members of the group said, quote, I would not say it if I had not heard it repeatedly. She would use people sexually. She would say, this person is ordained to be my partner. And then she would have sex with that member, and then later decide, well, you're only a temporary ordained person. Now I'm going to move on. Members of the group were only permitted to sleep 5 hours a night and had to wake up at 5 a.m. to start their live streams at 6 a.m. every day. One member of the group defended this by saying, quote, if anybody knows what it takes to create something extraordinary, it takes a lot of work and dedication. Ask Elon Musk how much he slept. It's like, Fucking
Yeah.
no. Quote, they were banned from sitting down, were never fed enough, were never paid for work they did, or rarely paid for work they did, and were told that, quote, free will is tantamount to sin.
They couldn't sit down?
They could not sit down.
Like all
No.
day? They just couldn't sit down.
Correct. Banned from sitting down. Members of the group
fuck?
defend the no sitting rule by saying that people who have complained about it are the type who grew up sitting on the couch all day and so were, quote, very triggered by it.
Oh my god.
Anybody who knows me in IRL knows that sitting is my fucking favorite. I hate standing. I hate it. I love walking, fine. As long as I'm moving, I'm good.
Nobody likes standing.
Oh, sitting rules.
Sucks.
God, it's
Yeah.
so good.
No, I think all the time, like, let's give the fact that our cashiers here don't get chairs is so
Just gonna say that.
stupid.
It's so stupid. I remember working retail when I first moved to Portland, and my manager came up to me and said a very fucked up thing, which was, you have a very nice tushy, but you need to not lean it against the counter. We need you standing up
my
fully.
God.
Yeah. Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. Why? Who cares if I'm
No,
fucking
nobody
sitting? I can
cares.
stand up and walk over to the customer. I don't need to be at rapt
No,
attention
and no
for them to
customer-
buy this
yes.
beta product.
No,
Jesus.
no customer is going to be coming in and being like, "Oh, lazy workers sitting."
Oh, I
You're
didn't
in a
realize
cult.
that. You guys are sitting? I'm going to take my business elsewhere.
This
them
feels like a
couches.
very American thing too. Tell us.
Yes. Yeah, right? I'm sure they have little cute stools and bells that ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling when you walk into stores in, like, the UK.
Yes.
So a former member said that they were subjected to an enormous amount of mental manipulation and brainwash, and that every single thing revolved around Amy. Amy's last father god was 44-year-old Jason Castillo, who had a lengthy criminal record, including drunk driving, breaking and entering, and child neglect. Whoa. Castillo claims that, quote, his existence could be tracked back 477.5 trillion years, that humans come from Venus, and that he has 3 hearts.
If only there was a way to prove that. God.
He described the role of Father God as the, quote, master of darkness.
Oh no.
There are videos of him screaming into a microphone with rock guitar playing, and he's saying things like, quote, Mother God show! Love runs this bitch! Surrender, you son of a bitch! Get in, motherfucker!
What?
I swear to God. It's like, Mother God show!
Wow.
Yes. It's chaos.
Yeah.
Amy and Castillo were a match made in heaven. Amy tasked Castillo with doling out punishments on group members, and there's a video of him asking a member, quote, now you're fucking insane, correct? To which the member answers yes. Then Castillo asks, how can an insane individual serve God? It's like, what are you trying to get at by saying that? Like, what
so
even does
weird.
that mean? He is also on a video telling a member, quote, you're going to be a paraplegic. You're only going to have the right usage of your arm and leg. If you didn't believe me before, you'll fucking believe me now. While being right in the member's face, who clearly looks intimidated. So what? There's also a video of Amy berating a member for bringing her meatballs for dinner instead of chicken parmesan.
I mean, yeah.
She says, quote, I didn't say meatballs. I love meatballs. And then she screams, but I didn't fucking say that!
Oh my God.
Chicken parmesan!
I mean.
I know. It's the only word for it. The group marketed Amy as the symbol of love, purity, and joy, but the videos of the group at their home are absolutely insane and abusive. And in one video, she's holding a very small child who won't stop crying, and so she says, quote, all right, time out. And a group member appears to walk over, pick up the baby, and place the baby in a closet and close the door.
Oh no.
Yeah,
no.
it's off camera, but it's obvious. You can hear the door close, and the sound of the baby's crying is muted.
God.
Yeah. There's also a video of her aggressively blowing into a cat's face and then dangling the cat by the scruff at arm's length for a long time.
Jesus.
Yeah, just unnecessary aggression is what it all looks like. It's all awful. Just this really intense, aggressive, abusive energy. Her followers defended her actions by saying, quote, "Mom is literally the planet."
God.
So all of those lower emotions, all that lower stuff, hatred, violence, judgment, all this stuff, it has to go somewhere. It has to get transformed. So she feels collectively all of the collective emotions. Another member goes on, quote, "She's hurt. She's hurt that we are embodying as a species who she created so much disrespect for her." Okay. Mm-hmm. There's a video of what appears to be a drunken, angry Amy shouting, quote, "Spiritual ego whores die. If you're not connected to me, you're out. Thank you for your service." Oh my God. In 2020, one member named Alex Witten left behind his wife, children, and a job that paid 6 figures to join Love Has Won, and he was found a few days later, quote, wandering the desert, hallucinating and with cactus needles in his feet.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. His wife said that he had been kicked out of the group and abandoned in the wilderness after he, quote, didn't have the right energy.
Ugh.
The group claimed that, quote, "Sometimes people have a very quick awakening, and if anybody's ever experienced that, it can be a bit disorienting because you just all of a sudden open up to all the spiritual energy and it can be overwhelming depending on your being. But ultimately, we love Alex, and he has never actually done an interview or said anything. It's always been his wife and sister." Family members have tried numerous times over the years to save their loved ones from the group, even appearing on Dr. Phil, my man, the number one doctor. If you need anything solved, go to Dr. Phil. He is the best doctor. I'm being sarcastic if you're new.
Right.
I cannot stand that fucking guy.
No, he gets his hands onto everything.
He's the worst. He's the worst. In the opening of the Dr. Phil show, Amy is shown on a self-shot video saying, quote, "I am God. I am Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, Great Spirit, Spider Woman, White Buffalo Calf Woman. My angels told me that I have to go serve humanity and that I have to give up everything. I did that and I went to Colorado. Love Has Won is just the new paradigm that we can all share in unity. I just want to bring joy, which is reality. And I produce miracles, kind of like Jesus. I've done over 100,000 surgeries, which I did the math on that, and that would mean in the 15 years she's been in the group, she would have had to do 18 surgeries a day. I've healed people of cancer over and over with the power of love." So in her interview with Dr. Phil, she admits that her anger is a result of being raped several times, being stolen from, and having her house burned down. She said she's grown weary in, quote, living the truth and being the truth, despite everything coming at her. So within the last couple of years, Amy's health began to deteriorate, and she claimed that she had stage 5 cancer, which doesn't exist.
I was going to say, is that a thing?
Nope. The rating system for the severity of cancer only goes up to 4.
Right.
Her family also claims that she never received a proper cancer diagnosis. As she deteriorated, she didn't ease up on her drinking at all, and her members, specifically 2 women named Hope and Aurora, continued to enable her by bringing her alcohol. Hope and Aurora joined the group in 2018, quickly rose to prominence in the group, and often led their daily live streams. Amy never went to a hospital as her health declined, and Hope and Aurora enabled Amy's drinking, defending it again as a way to manage her pain organically. There's a video of them defending not bringing her to a hospital, and in the video, Aurora says, quote, "There's been moments that Mom has asked us to take her to a 3D hospital, and we're like, nope."
Oh my God.
Yep. When asked about this later, Aurora said, quote, "Amy was joking about going to a hospital and claimed that Amy had signed 3 documents saying never to take her to a hospital under any circumstance." Yeah. And we'll post pictures, but she went downhill very, very clearly, very fucking sick.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the 8 to 9 vodka
highballs a day. Yes, certainly was not helping her. A group called Rising Above, Love Has Won was formed to support members of the group who chose to leave over the years. One of the members of Rising Above claimed that they called the police multiple times to perform welfare checks and, quote, the police officer who went there said he was met by 2 cult members at the door who said that she was not there, so he left. And of course, when he called us and told us that, we were like, you believed them? A previous member said that the last time he saw Amy, she was 89 pounds and wasted at 11 a.m.
No.
Yep. In the videos leading up to Amy's death, she is, quote, unable to walk, was underweight, and had a gray complexion, which observers of the group believed was caused by her regular ingestion of colloidal silver supplements.
Oh, no.
Sadie, she is gray. I mean, it is not like a tinge of gray. She is fucking gray.
Bummer.
Yeah. Quote, the Food and Drug Administration said consuming colloidal silver is not safe or effective for any medical purposes, but the group continues to sell it as a supplement, saying it has all-purpose healing benefits. Finally, one of the welfare check requests paid off, and around midnight on April 28, 2021, a search warrant was issued after someone reported the presence of a dead body in the Love Has Won home, and police found the mummified remains of a woman when they carried out their search.
No.
Quote,
mummified.
the police report said she was wrapped in a string of Christmas lights and that glitter was smeared around her eye sockets.
Oh my
her
God.
eyes seemed to be missing.
Oh no.
A shrine was set up around the corpse. No, thank you. Don't take her eyes out. Don't wrap her in Christmas lights.
No.
Initially, 7 members of the group were arrested and charged with abuse of a corpse and child abuse as 2 children were in the presence of the body.
Ugh.
The charges were later dropped, and the district attorney defended the controversial decision, stating, quote, our office looked at all the documents and everything that was provided, and from our perspective, the allegations could not be met beyond a reasonable doubt. The cause of death is still undetermined, and, quote, the county coroner has not yet been able to determine a cause of death for Amy, in part because they are still searching for a lab that could identify the kind of heavy metals that the group often broke down through electrolysis and sold as health aids.
Oh, jeez.
Quote, the group described her death as an ascension, which it said was part of her plan. Amy's mother believes her daughter's death has been brushed under the rug by authorities and wants the members of the group who aided in her decline to be punished for their actions. Castillo has since splintered off from Love Has Won, which now calls itself 5D Full Disclosure. Sounds vaguely pornographic to me.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Sounds like so many things.
Right.
Blink 182. Like,
yes, and yeah, like a 90s punk band porno. Oh, and Castillo has started a new group called Joy Reigns. 5D Full Disclosure is run by Hope and Aurora, and Joy Reigns made several posts on their Facebook page that said that Amy died in California on April 21st. And that Castillo transported her remains back to Colorado because that was Amy's wish. Quote, Castillo said he protected the rest of the group by giving them cash and letting them leave before he transported Amy's body, and that he felt hurt that they had since distanced themselves from him. Aurora disputed this and said, quote, for him to make these claims that he did these things or said these things to protect us, he really didn't at all, she said. He did what he felt guided to do, and he compromised the entire team by that choice. And I don't really know what she means by that. I'm just assuming they had a big bunch of beef. I also know that they had assets somewhere in the range of $300,000, and like the owner of the home they lived in got all of that. And so I just think Amy died and the shit fucking hit the fan and they all went in separate directions.
No, I can't imagine.
No. So Amy might have ascended, but her legacy lives on. 5D Full Disclosure is still very active on social media and still sells their range of questionable New Age products. They launched a website about, quote, creating a New Earth transitory government, and it used the tagline, quote, where we go one, we go all. The famous slogan of the QAnon conspiracy movement.
Shit.
You motherfuckers. On August 12th, Joy Rains posted, then deleted a message, quote, referring to Father God's, quote, suicide mission and, quote, last moments of humanity. The exact meaning of the message is unclear, but it caused concern for Castillo's mental health. Yeah, think?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep. In referring to the members of the cult who have stayed on after Amy's death and Castillo split from the group, a cult expert who has studied the group said, quote, these people have a deep sense of commitment, what I would call emotional equity in the group. There's the idea of, well, what are we supposed to do now? Admit that Amy Carlson was a fraud? We spent years of our life in this. A previous member said, quote, deprogramming takes time. They're wired to think only about this mission, only about Amy, and that's all they want to talk about. Previous Father God Profaki said, quote, this story is really about a bunch of people who the system didn't work for, who were looking for answers. The notion of joining God's team makes somebody feel like maybe all of that untapped potential in their life will finally get used for something. He added, it will take a monumental effort for these people to pull themselves out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the story of the fucking Chaos Festival.
Oh.
And the weird-ass decline of and death of Amy Carlson.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say poor Amy. But part of me, it's like...
Right.
A victim...
Right.
She victimized and then had a terrible death. And that sucks.
Yeah, she was an abuser.
Yeah.
And held herself back from receiving care, was just not given care. I don't know.
Right, that feels very murky.
Yes, I'm sure that there's a lot of people complicit in her demise, whether or not, and there's, her family's, we don't know if she would have been able to survive had she received care. But it's, I don't want anyone to die, especially like a long, painful alcoholic death.
No.
But there are plenty of options out there. Should you, and if you created all of humanity, you should be like, yes, I make the best fucking hospitals, I'm going to go to one of them. And then just tell your followers that you're doing it because you're really good at making hospitals. Right. Pull a Trump. I make the best hospitals. My hospitals fucking rule.
Yes. No, we need to open community centers, and that's all of these cult stories and what's happening with Trump, and we just need community. Like, people are desperate for connection, and answers, and a place to go, and
fulfillment of their destinies and their talents, and want to be loved and taken care of.
We don't do that.
Yeah, current conditions don't really allow for a lot of interconnectivity and feelings of self-worth or importance, and that's very unfortunate.
Yep. God. And the only place that we have that really is church, and that's problematic of itself. And
I do like this trend of groovy church. I love it. There's a church in South Bend, for example, that has all these doors out front painted in the rainbow colors, and it had some sort of all are welcome kind of pun.
Totally, yeah.
Shit like that.
I don't mean I shouldn't blanket statement, but I feel like, especially where I am here,
how
it's just
grew up.
super toxic. Yeah.
Yes.
No, there's plenty of actual good, well-meaning people who believe in God, and that's, I guess.
If you go to a church where people are lording power over you and using the Bible and God's love to control you, maybe take a step back and think twice.
Yep.
I don't think that's God.
Nope.
Or Jesus. Nope. Or the Spider Woman calf mother.
Definitely not.
Gaia. Goddess Pele.
Definitely not.
Oy, oy, oy.
Well, I can't wait to
Esther sent me that one. I got to give a shout out to Esther, my friend who sent me, what's his name? Oh my God, the lizard people guy who killed his family, killed his babies.
Yes.
Yeah, Esther knows, she knows my specific brand of fucked up, so thanks a bunch, buddy.
I'm going to have to go start digging a hole into that story, figure it out, watch the stuff.
Yeah, it feels like, or back in the day when you'd go and look up children of God, you know, and that's why I kept saying you have to be careful what you wish for, because I always wanted more information about that cult. It was all just so disparate and kind of fragmented, and, you know, you start down a story and it doesn't really ever resolve. That's where this case is very much right now, you know. There's a lot of sort of incoherent interviews with Love Has Won cult members, and, you know, it's just, there's still a lot of big question marks for sure. And, you know, in the grand scheme of cults, this one seems somewhat contained, but I think it's really important to talk about, especially these cults that are QAnon backed or based and social media savvy. And I was saying to Sadie before we started this episode, like, my TikTok has gone the fuck off the rails, and I find myself getting a little sucked into some weird shit every once in a while, as somebody who, you know, can turn off their phone and walk away and just, you know, shake it off. Oh man, I get it. I totally get how the algorithm indoctrinates.
Definitely.
So
there's something
fucking
very
seductive
and persuasive about TikTok in particular. Like,
yes, I agree.
I find myself buying products that I see, like being, oh yeah, I definitely want that.
Yep.
And I mean, things that I wouldn't normally do. Like, Instagram doesn't do that. I mean, well, I guess it kind of does sometimes, but like TikTok in particular has really drawn my attention in a different way than I'm used to.
I agree. Very
as
much
an older, like the oldest millennial or whatever. Like, I think,
yeah,
you know, yeah, I think I've been paying attention, or I'll hear something on TikTok and be like, oh shit, what is that? And then luckily I look into it and I'm like, okay, that's not true. You know, like,
right. Well, it's all presented just like anything else on social media, but it's very persuasive. It's presented as fact.
Yes.
And, you know, I have learned interesting things like about serial killers and leaded gas and stuff, you know.
Right.
But again, you know, like, that is a theory. The theory that leaded gasoline led to more serial killers, right? So I went down a deep dive into that, and very persuasive evidence to you know, toward that theory, but no conclusive, you know, whatever. But when you hear it, you're like, oh, all boomers are lead poisoned? Fuck. That makes so much sense. I'm going to tell everyone, you know. No, slow down.
Yeah.
Do a little research, and you find out that, yeah, lead poisoning is not good, and it definitely didn't help matters. But, you know, So, yeah. I really want that to not continue to happen, and I don't want vulnerable people to fall prey to cults and fucking QAnon message boards and dark places of their own psyche and the internet and society, because it's just too available. Yes. Way too available.
I know. I like how Facebook is rebranding themselves. What are they calling?
Yeah, Meta.
Meta. Like, fuck you. You can't be like, oh, no, we're...
Oh, look over here. We're not that anymore.
Gross. So gross.
So gross.
Anyway, been thinking a lot. I feel like we should give a shout out to our loves in Houston.
Oh, big time.
Oh.
Yeah, that shit is... That is... very much top 5 most horrible things I think I've ever tried to wrap my mind around.
No. Yeah, we're talking about the Astro World Fest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
I just hate it, and I mean...
It's incomprehensible.
Yeah.
It's so sad and so preventable and fucking... The helplessness in those moments. But man, people really, really fucking tried to help, and they just didn't receive help. And that's so tragic.
Yeah,
so.
I hope they get to the bottom of it. Put everybody in jail who needs to go to jail for that shit.
Yeah.
But
another listener recommended a trampling incident in the UK from a while ago, and it's really interesting to read about. I couldn't quite dig up enough to make a full episode out of it, but yeah, that shit. And fucking 2021, we should not have events that are not properly engineered. That's crazy town.
Yes,
there's no excuse for that.
No,
shit.
There's 100% no excuse.
And then also just yuck, creepy.
Yeah.
sinister, creepy.
Yep.
Anyway, if you want to go on TikTok and learn about it, that'll take you in some weird ass places. I tell you what, it'll fuck your algorithm right up. Should we do some names?
Yes.
Great.
Please.
Sadie figured out that our father's doctor's name is Dr. Lindsay. Lindsay.
Well, actually, our mother did. She was like, yeah, your dad went to the doctor today. And she sat there for a second. She was like, his doctor's name is Lindsay.
Good job, Mom.
She's all laughing. I know. I was like, that's really funny.
It's really funny. Will you ask Dr. Lindsay if she married into Lindsay or if her parents are just weird?
I would assume. Yeah. I'll ask Dad. I'll ask Dad to ask her.
Please.
I will. I assume she married into it.
But I want to know. I would love if our father's doctor's parents were just fucking hilarious people who were like, our last name is Lindsay. Should we just name her Lindsay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Somebody had a boss named Rusty Buss, Buss. Somebody had a grandpa that named his dog Dammit. Also, I met Anthony Kiedis' father randomly in Portland, and his name is Blackie Dammit. And he lives in Portland. He's an old punk rock star.
Right.
And he lives in Portland because Multnomah County is one of the only, 2 counties in the United States where you can have domesticated wolves. Which is, I was like, what brought you to Portland? Wolves. Great. Somebody had a kindergarten teacher named Mrs. Celery. Then a first grade teacher named Teresa Rex, which is T-Rex, Mrs. T-Rex.
Oh,
and then a second grade teacher named Mrs. Bean.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow.
That person is well adjusted and very successful by now because
amazing.
of that. Celery, Mrs. T-Rex, and Mrs. Bean.
Oh my God.
Doing a voiceover audition for a project for my day job and came across a Courtney Hogg. Which I only included for obvious reasons.
Yes.
A listener said that her sister-in-law told her that her aunt hated their last name, which was Dix. And then she finally fell in love and married a Johnson.
I hope she hyphenated.
There is, seriously. There is a Hump Tulips, Washington.
Of course there is.
Yep. There's a Douglas Dougal. There is a Gay Summer Rick. So many things that are good about that name. There is, this is weird. Well, there's a Richard Tenacious. There's a Dick Tenacious.
Yes.
And then somebody else this week sent us Tenacious Jimmy Ray Clark. 2 Tenaciouses.
What
Yes.
Chances.
Yes. Richard Tenacious is the original Tenacious D. I'm just going to say it.
Yes.
Dick Tenacious. Somebody said, hey, exotic sisters. I like it.
Uh-huh. I do too.
Mm-hmm. There is a reconstructive surgeon in Australia named Dr. Walter Flapper. And that's it. That is it.
Never.
Those are some good ones.
Never enough.
No, but always so satisfying. Thank you guys for everything.
Yes.
Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you.
So just reached the point of the episode where she just starts to become like the world's laziest hype man.
Right?
And you're like,
yes. Well, it's like a whole 8:30 my time or whatever.
I know,
it's
that's what I
bedtime
mean.
now.
She's
Yes.
like, cool, yeah.
Oh, real quick though, before we go,
Yeah.
my 7-year-old got his motherfucking COVID vaccine. Can we just all take a minute?
Yeah.
It's a big deal over here. I'm so happy. He has not grown any extra limbs or anything. So go get your kids vaccinated when you can. And I'm just...
Let's wrap it up.
I know.
Let's wrap it up. There's no excuse for this shit.
Seriously, okay. I know. My 4-year-old is very tall. And I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all height-based. I'm sure that the science is height-based, and they will allow him to get his vaccine because he's very tall.
Well, when you think about it, that would only make sense. It's not developmentally based.
Well, it is, though. I listened to an epidemiologist talk about it.
And I should not be fucking throwing out science. I have no information about whatsoever.
How did they word it? Come on, I know some. Tell me, guys. They said that it's based on your immune system maturity or something crazy.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like age. It is age-based, but it's
maybe if you're taller, your immune system's stronger.
Hopefully,
we should just do everything like they do bumper cars.
Right,
stand under the thing.
I think that's. Can you sit in a seatbelt normally? Then you get your vaccine.
Fuck it, yeah.
Anyway, so that's exciting. That's been very exciting over here.
Very exciting. I got boosted. Sadie got boosted. I got boosted today. I might get weird, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah, let's do it.
We love you so much, and we would love to spend more time with you. And in order to do that, you're going to have to come over to our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at They Will Kill. You can go to our website, theywillkill.com. You can always email us at theywillkillpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. And you know what? We have a P.O. box now. You want to send us shit? I'm going to look it up right now because I can never remember. Oh, P.O. Box 489.
All right.
Franklin, Indiana, 46131. Send us
edible arrangements only. I'm 100% sure you cannot send an edible arrangement to a P.O. box.
Yeah.
Let's just try it. Let's try it.
Just only send us perishable items.
Please. Ooh, have them sent to your house and then reship it to us.
Yes.
That's the loophole. It's like sneaking into Cuba, baby. Woo!
Thank you, AJ Bergans, for your music.
Thank you so much.
Also rate, review, subscribe.
Please do it. We love it. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do. And remember.
I feel like I wrote one down. Let me look real quick. Oh, I heard a very nice thing. Whit Misselbein, is that his name? Speaking of names. Whit Misselbein. That's his name, right? From This Is Actually Happening podcast.
Whit Misselbein?
Misselbein. Right? You say it out loud. It sounds crazy. Anyway. Yes. Oh, Whit may or may not be Misselbein. Whistlebein? It wouldn't be Whit Whistlebein. Anyway. Mitt Whistlebein?
Hold on. I'm looking real quick. I have him in my library. Well, where's his name on here?
I'm just going to Google Whit Misselbein. Misseldine. Whit Misseldine. Okay, I was so close, but I really was right there with it. So Whit Misseldine said that he had a yoga teacher tell him once, you don't have to like everyone, you just have to love them.
Aww.
And I thought that was really lovely and something that I need to remember, especially as a host of a true crime podcast.
Seriously.
You know?
Yes.
You don't have to like everyone, you just have to love them.
100%.
And we love you. And we like you.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
But when you venture outside of the bubble of They Will Kill listeners, I fucking hate all those motherfuckers. But I love them.
Love them.
And we really do love you.
Yes, we do. Thanks for being here. We will see you real soon.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.